Can I just say a little bit, and then I'll ask you to fill in, because I'm watching the clock tick here. I want to be cautious about not going too far down into this thing. So those are the things you brought up in the beginning about him living in Kenya for a couple of years. I don't know that. I have, and it's worth looking into, no doubt, because we want to learn some things about what goes on in the life of our presidential candidates. To be the commander-in-chief, be the leader of the free world, we need to know everything that we can about the history of our presidential candidates. I've read his book, almost all of his book, Dreams from My Father, and I received briefings on the life of Obama. And I went back and read the periodicals, some of them on, and not all of them. There are experts out there. I'm a person who has gone through and picked up a lot, so I can at least tell you the milestones along the way. And those milestones being, we know who his father was, and who his stepfather was, and you mentioned that. We know who his mother was, and he was raised by his maternal grandparents. We know that he got his elementary education, a significant portion of that in Indonesia, and the influence that was there is apparent in his writings. And then he went to high school, or middle school and high school in Hawaii. We don't know very much about that period of time, at least I don't. And that he went to college at Occidental for 2 years, and then to Columbia for 2 years, then to Chicago to be a community organizer, and then on off over to into Harvard Law School, and back to Chicago, and to try to come back with more leverage. It was reported in the New Yorker magazine, and a quote from an alderman in Chicago who is a lady, her name is Toni Preckwinkle, that she went to Obama and said, you need to join a church in order to be an effective community organizer, and I highly recommend that you go join the church of Reverend Jeremiah Wright. So if you listen to the alderman there, who was, I thought, being complimentary of Obama, she has said that he went to that church under her advice, just to summarize it in my own vernacular, because that's where he would get the best political bang for his collection plate buck. Then we know about the Black liberation theology, the Curse America from the pulpit, and the things that flow from that. Married by Jeremiah Wright, daughters baptized by Reverend Jeremiah Wright. I look at this and I ask myself, if I had a baby and my charge was to raise that baby to be the President of the United States, I could see handing that baby over to, let me say, George Herbert Walker Bush and Barbara, and because there's a multiple generations of American service there that they must know how to do something to look at how their kids have succeeded. You can look back through the bios of our presidents and find out where was the core of the character that made them who they are. What were the life experiences? What were the things along the way that nurtured? I can't find anything along that way that I would want to pick out of the walk that Obama's been through and say this is what formed and shaped his character or his patriotism, or this is the way that we should raise future generations of children if we want them to be leaders of the free world. So I am uneasy about the whole background. Very uneasy about it. I want to be somewhat cautious about how far I go with that in this setting, but I'm uneasy. Now I'll listen to you.